Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Well, we've got another great video for you, and if you want to do really well in crypto this cycle, you really do need to know the name of Tom Lee, Fundstrat, Bitmine, and of course Ethereum. So let's get into it. This is going to be a very good coverage of what is going to be one of the key cornerstone investment vehicles for the change in monetary system onto Ethereum. So let's get into it. Tom Lee is to Ethereum what Michael Saylor is to Bitcoin, with Bitcoin now the number 2 digital asset treasury company. We look into the maverick chairman behind the scenes. So we're going to have a quick look at Tom Lee. There you can see him in the picture there. It's going to be pretty exciting. So Tom Lee is an American financial analyst, strategist, and businessman. He is the co-founder and head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors, an equity research firm based in New York, and he is the chairman of Bitmine, a former Bitcoin mining company which has transitioned into a digital asset treasury company called a DAT or DATCO here. Bitmine is famous because it is the second largest DATCO in the world after Strategy, that is MicroStrategy from Michael Saylor. Importantly, Bitmine, unlike Strategy, is an Ethereum treasury company rather than on Bitcoin. Bitmine, the leading ETH treasury company, has more than 13 billion in Ethereum plus cash just half a year after it began buying and staking the world's largest digital asset, and that's of course with Ethereum down in price. Michael Saylor's Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, still leads the way with 60 billion in Bitcoin, yet the pace at which Bitmine is acquiring Ethereum is beginning to make that lead look less untouchable. There's still a long way ahead, or a long journey ahead. Bitmine overtook Mara in August to become the second largest holder of crypto as a treasury asset, but matching Strategy scale will require more conviction and, of course, more aggressive buying. This article provides more context to the man behind the Bitmine's aggressive ETH strategy, so let's dive into it now. You can obviously see Bitmine there with the current valuation, with the 2 billion there, and you can see the ETH and everything else that's in its wallets. Tom Lee, Bitmine's strategic force. Tom Lee is becoming a household name in crypto circles. I think it's going to be far further afield with the like of Mr. Beast, so keep an eye out on that. With decades of experience in traditional finance, he has shifted in recent years towards digital assets, bringing Wall Street level strategy to blockchain markets. Blows a timeline of his career milestones. In the early 1990s, he began at Kidder, Peabody and Company, as a research associate before moving to Oppenheimer and Co. In 1997-1999, managing director of Salomon Smith and Barney, equity research analyst in wireless. And of course, you'll hear him talking a lot about that in interviews. 1999 to 2014, he was chief US equity strategist and managing director at JP Morgan Chase, obviously one of the big banks, leading equity research for 15 years. So really setting him up for his own thing. 2014, he co-founded Fundstrat Global Advisors, becoming a key independent market strategist with a growing focus on digital assets. 2019 to present, he is head of research and FS Insights, a board member for the New York Asian Film Festival. 2020, he gained national attention for bullish calls during COVID-era market turmoil, including a Wall Street Journal profile. 2024, of course, founded Fundstrat Capital, becoming CIO and Chief Investment Officer, as well as portfolio manager there for Fundstrat. June 2025, he took over as chairman of the board at Bitmine Emerging Technologies, leading its pivot from a Bitcoin mining to Ethereum accumulation, launching a $250 million private placement to expand ETH holdings, aiming to make Bitmine one of the largest public ETH treasuries. February 2026, he navigated Bitmine through a brutal market correction. Despite billions of unrealized paper losses, Lee doubled down, accelerating ETH accumulation to over 4.4 million tokens and expanding the treasury into strategic moonshot investments, including a 200 million stake in Mr. Beast Industries, which I think is a major play. Pretty amazing. So you got a little bit of post there about Tom Lee. Tom Lee is the Permabill. Lee was born in Michigan to a Korean family, the third of 4 siblings. His father was a psychiatrist, his mother a homemaker turned Subway franchise owner. Despite modest beginnings, he's earned the reputation of a Permabill for consistently optimistic market forecasts. In 2002, while at JP Morgan, Lee publicly clashed with wireless operator Nextel over his analysis, a rare and high-profile dispute for Wall Street analysts, detailed in the Wall Street Journal piece, Unhappy Firm Bites Back. Nextel says, analyze this. Over the years, he stayed in the spotlight with his fearless predictions. In 2017, began issuing Bitcoin price targets, some of which materialized. In 2018, predicted Bitcoin at 125K by 2022, Too early, but accurate on the eventual path. In 2020, correctly forecast the US stock market rebound after the pandemic crash. In 2025, Lee predicted Ethereum would hit 12K by the end of the year, aligning with his bullish Bitmine strategy. Lee has also claimed that the 4-year cycle is dead and that the next big narrative around crypto is tokenization. Lee has equated this period of crypto to 996 for the internet. In an interview with Altcoin Daily, he claimed crypto is still in its infancy and that tokenization over the coming years will accelerate adoption. Those buying and holding crypto now are still early, according to Lee, as 95% of investors have no exposure to Bitcoin. Bitmine, of course, became famous for its alchemy of 5%. Lee is spearheading Bitmine's audacious plan to acquire 5% of Ethereum total supply, stake it, and earn around 4 to 5% APR and rewards. Probably that might end up being that high, but possibly around 3% or so. This aggressively accumulated strategy has already paid off. Bitmine's share price has surged 1,000% since June. However, in a recent post on Twitter, legendary crypto trader Andrew Kang criticized Lee's thesis, claiming it was one of the most retarded combinations of financial illiterate arguments I've seen from a well-known analyst in a while. By early 2026, the crypto market faced severe macroeconomic headwinds, dragging Ethereum's prices down below the 2,000 mark. Consequently, Bitmine absorbed over $8 billion in unrealized paper losses on its massive ETH treasury. True to its perma-bull nature, Lee continued acquiring ETH. By late February 2026, Bitmine had aggressively bought the dip, pushing its treasury to a staggering 4.4 million Ethereum. Remember, the 5% target is 6 million, securing 3.66% of Ethereum's total circulating supply and crossing the 73% threshold towards the ultimate alchemy of 5% goal, which is 6 million in ETH. To weather the extreme price volatility, Lee's strategy relies heavily on protocol-level cash flow. Bitmine has successfully staked over 3 million of its ETH, generating roughly 171 million in annualized staking revenue. This yield is designed to scale further with the Q1 2026 launch of Maven, Made in America Validator Network, Bitmine's proprietary purpose-built staking infrastructure. Beyond raw Ethereum accumulation, Lee has also surprised traditional analysts by expanding Bitmine's balance sheet into what he terms moonshot investments. Most notably, Bitmine deployed a $200 million stake into Beast Industries, the company behind YouTube creator Mr. Beast. This pivot aligns with Lee's broader thesis, shared at Consensus Hong Kong 2026, that the creator's economy and AI agents will be the defining catalyst for Ethereum network adoption over the coming decade. So it really is that leading bridging function to mass adoption for Ethereum. Lee and Bitmine remain highly active on Twitter, sharing optimistic takes on crypto markets and Ethereum's long-term potential. So a great write-up there from Finn Grant. He's a writer formerly of the Daily Telegraph and New Scientist magazine. So great stuff ahead there. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's a bit of an overview. And of course, we're expecting a bit more than that Tom Lee potentially leading the change in the monetary system from TradeFi over to Ethereum. So exciting things ahead for tokenization, stable coins, and of course mass adoption with Mr. Beast. Could be quite the show over the next year or two. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Catch me on the next one. Take care and bye for now.